in tonight's lessons as well in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so we move straight to our discussion, and then we'll start with the question 358 for the Exodus chapter 23, verse 29. Why will God not drive out the Canaanites in a single year? So Exodus chapter 23, verse 29. We ended there yesterday. Yes, why will God not drive out the Canaanites in a single year? Let's open our Bibles. Exodus chapter 23, verse 29. That's where we are.
Because the land will become desolate.
Because the land will become
Desolate.
okay. Desolate. Okay. So all of the following are said to be the boundaries of the land God was giving Israel, except all the following
The river.
okay. All the following are said to be the boundary of the land God was giving Israel, except, according to verse 31, except which one?
The Red Sea.
The Red Sea. Why do you even just pick up the Red Sea? Any clue? Because sometimes you have clues to some of the answers. Any clue? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, any clue to the Red Sea? Or you just said it. So let's read. And I will fix your boundaries from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, and from the eastern wilderness to the Euphrates River. I will hand over to you the people now living in the land, and you will drive them out ahead of you. So, which one is the answer? The mountain of the Lord, because he said the sea of the Philistines, the Red Sea, the desert, the river. Okay, and he said, except. The reason I asked you the Red Sea is that maybe because they crossed the Red Sea earlier, that was your reason for picking it. So that's how I see whether you have a clue. Okay, good. I will beg you that when we connect, let's know that we are in class, and then try to avoid other conversations that would distract the recording. You know, this recording is now on YouTube, so anyone can get it. We beg you. And it's on the YouTube because of you can see that even today we have about 3 or 4 people who have joined the page. Then they will come and ask for what we have done previously. It always drives us back. So it's there, so they come and then they can go and read whoever comes at whatever time. They have it there. So please, let's try to minimize the outside discussions for us. Thank you for your understanding. Israel was not to let the residents of Canaan stay in the land because of what? What would they do? Why didn't God want them to stay in the land?
Their gods will be a snare to Israel.
Their gods will be a snare to Israel. Okay. So because they will follow their gods, they have to be careful. A young goat was not to be cooked in. The verse 19 says the young goat is not supposed to be cooked in what? Oh, yes, a young goat is not to be cooked in
Its mother's milk.
Its mother's milk. Its mother's milk. When Israel took the land, what were they to break to pieces? When Israel took the land, yes.
Oh, that far. Oh, as I'm my eyes on it.
Sacred stones.
The high.
Please come again.
Sacred stones.
Come again, I didn't get it. What are they to break to pieces?
Oh, they have to me if you cry this year.
Yes. What are they to break into pieces?
But they are high places. We don't have
Uh,
it in our Bibles as it's written here. So I would say they are high places.
by which versions are you using? We
are
have
looking
their
King
sacred.
James.
Yeah, yesterday we said let's try to get the NIV. Mhm. If you read, you get the sacred stones or the sacred pillars. Do you get it? You said what they are high places. Is that what you have there? What do you have in the King James?
So thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their work. But thou shalt utterly overthrow them and quite break down their images. It doesn't state specifically any of them.
Doesn't state any of them. Okay. Please, let's get the NIV. I'm sure we can get NIV, and then it will help all of us to have be on the same page. If Israel worshipped the God, if Israel worshipped the Lord, he would take what away from them? I think the answer already showed.
Uncle baby, I go buy some guns.
Wow. Chapter 4, 24 of Exodus. All of the following were listed as going up to the Lord on Mount Sinai, except all of the following were listed as going up to Mount Sinai, except we have Aaron, Nadab, the 70 elders, Korah, and I'm sure this question, and even Abihu, except to Korah. So let's read. Then the Lord instructed Moses, come up here to me and bring along Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of Israel's elders. All of you must worship from a distance. So Korah, as he said, wasn't there. Who was not to go up to worship the Lord on Mount Sinai? If you look at the, please, who is driving? And also for Francis Asari, please mute your mic.
The people.
So yes, so the answer is what? The people.
The people.
Thank you. When Moses told the people all the Lord's ways and laws, how did the people respond? When Moses had told them the Lord's way, how did the people respond?
They will do it.
They said they would do it.
Yes.
Okay,
They will do
good.
all.
They will do all. After telling the people the law, Moses set up 12 pillars representing what, according to verse 4?
The tribe of Israel.
Okay, the 12 tribes of Israel. Where did Moses bring half of the blood? Bring half of the blood that was not put in bowls at the Sinai covenant. Where did Moses sprinkle half of the blood that was not put in bowls at the Sinai covenant ceremony? Where? According to verse 6. Yes, where?
On the altar.
On the altar. So we read, Moses drained half the blood from these animals into basins, and other half is splashed it against the altar. Okay, we continue. What book did Moses read to the people? According to verse 7, what book did Moses read to the people?
The book of the covenant.
The book of the covenant.
Yes.
Who is driving? We are having so much feedback in the recording. What did Moses do to symbolize that the people were promising to obey the words contained in the Sinai covenant? Yes, what did you do to symbolize this? That the people were promising to obey the words contained in the Sinai covenant. Verse 8.
Sprinkle blood on the people.
Sprinkle blood on the people. Okay. All of the following saw God of Israel on Mount Sinai when the covenant was made, except, so all the following, except who?
Except Gershom.
Gershom. And who was Gershom?
Moses' son. Moses' son.
Okay, we continue. When the elders saw God, what did they do in his presence? They took off their shoes, they put blood on their left ear, they ate and drank, they fell down as dead.
Fell down as dead. As
They ate and drank.
They ate and drank. So let's read verse 11. Although these nobles of Israel gazed upon God, he did not destroy them. In fact, they ate a covenant meal, eating and drinking in his presence.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
So sometimes when people we are praying and they say, and then because of that he fell down flat. Some people will be there eating. So that means that what did the elders of Israel see under God's feet? What did they see under God's feet? He said,
Suffer pavement.
okay.
Suffer pavement.
Okay, good. Who was Moses' aide when he went up to receive the tablet of stone? Who was Moses' aide when he went up to receive the tablet of stone?
Joshua.
Okay. Who called Moses up on Mount Sinai in order to receive what from God? Sorry, God called Moses. Sorry, God called Moses up on Mount Sinai in order to receive what from God? Yes.
The stone tablet.
The stone tablets. Was that why he went there? Okay. I was expecting someone to say the book of the covenant. To the Israelites, what did the cloud on top of Mount Sinai look like? How did it look like? Yeah, I come.
A consuming fire.
A consuming fire. A
Devouring fire.
Yes, okay. How many days were Moses on Mount Sinai with God receiving the covenant? How many days?
40 days.
40 days.
40 days.
And night.
While Moses was on Mount Sinai, who was to decide dispute among the people? Yes, according
Aaron.
to
Aaron
verse
and
14. You said Aaron
Okay,
and
Aaron and Joshua.
are you sure?
VCAND.
Aaron and her.
how?
Okay, Aaron and her.
Aaron and her.
Okay, so let's read verse 14. It says that Moses told the elders, stay here and wait for us until we come back. Aaron and her are here with you. If anyone has a dispute while I'm gone, consult them. So do you get it? So in your absence,
Yes,
you have to leave things properly. Chapter 25
exactly.
of Exodus. Exodus chapter 25. When God commanded the Israelites to bring an offering for the materials for the tabernacle, all of the following were included, except. So when God commanded Israelites to bring an offering for the materials for the tabernacle, all of the following were included, except, according to the verse 3. They are saying silver, bronze, ram skin, dye red, alabaster, olive oil. Which one wasn't part?
Master.
Alabaster.
He said alabaster. Alabaster wasn't part. Okay. So we continue. What type of hides were to be brought for the tabernacle? So we are now looking at the tabernacle. What type of hides were to be brought for the tabernacle? Yes. Yes. Was it a goat? Was it a sheep? Was it a bagger? Was it a sea cow or cow? Which one? Verse 4 of 20. Yes.
Yeah, height.
He said
Sheepskin.
sheepskin. Okay, let's read and see. We have been given sea cow hides. Let's read. Who is having the NIV? Let's go.
Blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and fine linen, goat hair. That's all I have.
Oh, is that all you have there? Can someone continue reading down? Let's go.
Okay. Ram skin, dyed red, and hides of sea cows. Okay.
So do we have
Acacia,
the sea cows there?
Yeah, we have sea cows there.
Okay, thank you.
Papa,
Yes.
Ram is sheep. Ram is sheep.
But we have sea cow. Come again. A ram, say ram do ya any way Ojai. And your giant can send your friend a ram. Ojantin. Sea cow no the embassy so many wo. Him sea cow. And more my aquarium ni a Greek no momo. What is sea cow? If anyone have a knowledge of it, because we have not seen sea cow hides before. Ni skin, that means sea cow, ni skin. Meaning baby omukochi ibinya ni skin so. When the idea about sea cow? Yes, Mama, yet you. Yenim de young and me who be them. Yanka or Trini can say Kissy no money and hair. Sani yin koto enomne opposina. Yes.
The amplifies is dolphin or
okay,
porpoise
dolphin.
skins. So
Okay, it's dolphin there. You won't be a movie. Don't see cow. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's a dolphin. Oh, okay. I say, any young dolphin da. Omori fish. That's their food. Omori fish. Omu ye number. What was brought and used for the light in the tabernacle? What was brought and used for the light in the tabernacle?
Olive oil.
Olive oil. Olive oil. Is it onyx and precious stones were to be brought to be mounted on the they were brought to be mounted on the come again.
Breastpiece.
Okay, so the breastpiece on the apron. We discussed this the other time when I was talking about Aaron's apron. I made us go through them one after the other. The sanctuary was to be made so that, what was the sanctuary supposed to be made for? So that, verse 8.
I may dwell in their midst.
So who will dwell in their midst?
God.
So God will dwell among them. Is that not so?
Yes.
Okay, good. The chest or ark was made of what type of wood, according to verse 10? Yes.
Acacia.
Acacia. The ark or chest was to be overlaid with verse 11. He said gold.
Gold.
Okay.
Gold.
The poles fit into what? The poles fit into what? That were located on the ark or the chest. What does the pole fit into? Verse 12.
Ring.
The sockets or the rings.
Someone says sockets, or?
Yes.
So do you go for the sockets or the rings?
Rings.
So you've changed from sockets. Okay. What were they told not to remove from the ark or the chest? What were they told not to remove from the ark or the chest?
The poles.
The poles. The poles. What was made of pure gold and put on top of the ark? What was made of pure gold and put on top of the ark?
Mercy.
You said? Yes. Pure gold and put on top of the ark. You have the atonement cover. Who is having the atonement cover?
Of the testimony.
You said?
The covenant of testimony, of the testimony.
Are you sure? Read your version, let me see.
Verse 21.
Verse 4, verse 17.
Verse 17. Okay. Make an atonement cover of pure gold.
Yes, so atonement cover. Now, the mercy seat is called atonement cover. When you read the verse 21, you get the same thing. 21, and you shall put the mercy seat, which is the atonement cover, on top of the ark. Now, do you recall this thing that we are talking about? Something tells me that you might have forgotten what that we are talking about, but we have had a discussion of it, how the whole thing looked like when we're doing the Old Testament survey. So let me quickly let us see what we are talking about here so that we follow, because it's not only about answering the question, it's about understanding what we are doing. Okay. Yeah, so it's very important. So this is what we are talking about. I'm just going to open the page first to see all the various things that we are talking about here. Just a minute, and then I get it ready. Can we see the page?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is a tabernacle. Now, the measurement of the tabernacle are here in cubits and in feet or meters. So all the conversion has been made for you. The length and the breadth, 10 cubits, 15 feet, 4.6 meters. So you get to know anyone that comes in the exams, you get to know how to answer them. And so this is a content, but in it are all these things that we see. In it are all these things that we see. And these are the things. We have the holies of holies. I thought we had another picture that was even more clearer. And this is a golden lampstand. You remember we were able to identify all the things in here. Then we have here, we are talking about the thing is here. What we are talking about is inside here, the mercy table seat. That we had it. Okay. So I was thinking we'll have that picture so that we could look at it closely and I'll explain it. We'll have to look for the picture of that one so that we take another closer look at it again, because that will give us more understanding to all that we are doing. But let's quickly identify the things here. We have done this before. What is this one here? Yes. Yes, what's this one there? This one, where the kesa is. What is it?
Altar.
The bent altar. That's where we have we do the bent. This one is what? You remember the basin? What about this?
Lampstand.
Lampstand.
What about this?
The covenant act.
No.
The covenant.
No, Elvis, you don't make that mistake. I'll cane you with a cane. What is this? Elvis, this one you should know. The table of showbread. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
They're telling me, yeah. If you go and it comes, what about this?
Yes.
What about this?
The altar of incense.
The altar of incense. Good. And which one will be this?
The Ark of the Covenant.
The Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, the Ark of the usually is being placed in the holies of holies. Do you get
Holies
it?
of holy.
That's why it is there.
Yeah.
I think something is missing because we have another breakdown of it, another photograph of it. So basically, these are the things in the. Let's go back to our discussion and just end it there. Okay. So we continue. What was on the atonement cover or mercy seat? So you see now they have brought the mercy seat or atonement cover. So what was on the atonement cover or the mercy seat?
On the mercy seat.
The atonement cover or the mercy seat, according to verse 18. Yes.
Two cherubim facing each other.
Two cherubims facing each other. Okay. What was initially to be placed in the ark or the chest? What was initially to be placed in the ark or the chest? Verse 21. Initial, what was supposed to be placed in there, according to verse 21?
Testimony.
The
testimony which God was giving to them.
Okay. Thank you. The table for the tabernacle was made of what type of wood? The table of the tabernacle was made of what type of wood?
Acacia.
Acacia.
Okay. I don't know about that. I don't know much about wood, but this acacia used to be fine. The rim around the table was to be how wide?
A cubic.
A cubic. Are you sure?
No, it was handbreadth.
Yo, Mate. How long is a cubic? Verse 10. How long is a cubic?